Let's shift focus to earnings edge. Godrej Consumer has clocked a stable second quarter. Profits have surged 21% to come in at 234 crore rupees. To discuss what's worked for the company this quarter, I'm being joined by Adi Godrej, chairman of the Godrej Group, as well as managing director Vivek Gambhir. Mr. Godrej, I want to start with you. Thanks for taking the time out this morning to speak with us. You've had a fairly decent run this quarter, but thank you for coming in, sir. A good set of numbers, but there's also been some bit of pressure from the monsoon. Can you, give us a sense of how that has really played out this quarter?
No, our sales increased by about 9% on the consolidated basis on the basis of constant currency. And of course, the India FMCG growth was still slow in the quarter. Our growth in our Indian market was about 1.5 times the growth of the personal and household care sector. Our soap and hair color growth was quite good. However, our household insecticides growth was low because of the deficient monsoon. So our July and August growth in household insecticides was low, but in September, with the monsoon reviving, it picked up. However, our market shares in household insecticides have grown. Our growth was better than that of our competitors, and we expect that the household insecticides business will pick up strongly in terms of growth in the second half.
Sure. Vivek, I want to come to you and get a sense as far as raw material prices go. Most analysts are saying that raw material prices across the entire pack has softened, and that's possibly going to hold out going forward. I want your view on that.
Yeah, I think our belief is that, particularly for palm oil derivatives, which is the raw material for soaps, and there is a fair amount of raw materials linked to crude oil prices as well, things like packaging, etc. So overall, the commodity environment actually seems to be quite benign. And so as a result of that, we are expecting that this will lead to better profit growth in the second half of the year.
Okay. Mr. Godrej, you have just come off the festive season. What sort of demand have you seen there, sir? And, on a one-wide basis, how has that held out?
I think generally the Indian economy is improving. Consumer confidence is strong. And I expect, therefore, across the board in most categories, the growth in the second half will be better than in the first half. As you know, the economy had done reasonably well in the first half of last year. Even FMCG growth was stronger in the first half of the previous year. In the second half, this growth fell, and we therefore expect the growth in the second half of this year will be much better than in the first half.
All right, sir. So if you're saying that sentiment growth is going to be much better going forward, a sense of which segments you expect will be driving that growth, and also any sort of price increases we can see from you specifically on the back of that improving demand?
We expect all our sectors to grow well in the second half.
Okay.
However, we don't expect much price increase in the second half because the input costs will be under control. And I think not only will the input costs being under control help our company, but I think it will help the Indian macroeconomic situation very considerably, which I think will lead to GDP growth in the country.
Okay, Vivek, I want to bring you in some reports suggesting that you're looking at a possible acquisition of Africa-based Darling Group's hair extension business. Any comments on that? And also, any comments as far as your own inorganic strategy goes?
The Darling acquisition is part of our phase plans to, over time, take over 100% of the Darling business across various countries in Africa. In the past, we had presence in South Africa, Mozambique, Nigeria, Kenya. Over time now, we have expanded our presence into Uganda, Tanzania, and now Ghana. So this is part of our phased approach to make Africa a fairly sizable part of our business. Even today, Africa is almost 30% of our business going forward. In terms of other acquisitions, we are very open to looking at acquisitions within our current geographic footprint, but obviously we will only do it if it makes strategic sense at the right valuation.
All right, gentlemen, that's the word coming in from GCPL. A good second half going forward, a pickup as far as sentiment goes. Both Adi Godrej and Vivek Gambhir, appreciate you taking the time this morning. We'll take a break. On the other side, oil and gold lose sheen. What's pushing them lower? We'll speak to Hugh Keener of Swiss Asia Capital. Back in business in 2 minutes.